Hey, Maria, back with another video, and I, of course, am not in it, and I just didn't want to put any mind power into finding a replacement substitute, so you are looking at my wall. Anyway, I had a hard time sleeping last night, and I did have some caffeine towards the end of the day. I usually like to reserve caffeine for like the afternoons, early afternoons instead of late afternoons, because it will affect my sleep. But I think it was a little bit more than just the caffeine that was on my mind. When you experience something like trauma, it's not uncommon for people to kind of have like flashbacks, or their brain is somehow seeking to resolve it or trying to get over the fear. Because I'm going to tell you what, when you're gang stalked, it is terrifying. I don't expect anyone to understand it unless, of course, they've experienced it. But I do suggest for people who were perpetrators in this, and maybe people who are just new to the whole idea of gang stalking, not necessarily a perp or a targeted individual, it's very important to look this information up. There's all kinds of information about workplace mobbing, gang stalking, targeted individuals. It's all true. It is all true. It is not just some sort of urban legend or whatever. It is true, and gang stalking has been in existence for a very long time. But now it's even easier to gang stalk. I mean, because of the technology and all these social media sites, it's pretty crazy. So for some reason, I couldn't stop thinking about my husband's family. I know that, and I don't I know that his mother's involved. Okay, that's a no-brainer. But I can't help to think that his aunt is also involved in it, or was involved in it, for the simple fact that, I don't believe that I'm wrong on this, because it just seems so understandable. I know his aunt is I believe she's a head of a very large religious organization, and perhaps my family and his family have merged, where they're communicating together or whatever. Now, I'm going to get off that subject, but I'm going to say this about his family. His family has no right to involve themselves in any of my decisions. I've only met his aunt one time, or maybe two times, okay? I think it was sometime back in 2002 or 2003. I did go to lunch with her, and I think I saw her on one other occasion after that. I don't know her very well, and I certainly, for her to involve herself, especially based on the things that I've experienced, it seems more racist than somebody who's concerned about my eternal salvation. When I'm thinking about cause stalking and how this relates to Christian networks, and I understand that people like to enjoy the social benefits of what their church provides, but that's not the reason why people should seek out a relationship with God. And these blessings that these people have convinced themselves that they've received are actually manipulated, man-made blessings, to where there is a political structure involved, to where people have this almost elitist type behavior, and thinking that they are so chosen that they have the right to work outside of the law. And I'm very disturbed by the whole thing, because you can tell where the heart is. Now, I'm not saying that these people haven't repented, okay? Maybe they have. Maybe they've been seeing my videos, starting to think about all the unjustified things that they've done, and then they're like, oh, well, we didn't realize. People are only human. People make mistakes, okay? That's why, this whole Bible was written, because we are born in a state of sin. But at the same time, people need to understand that Christianity should not contradict itself. I understand that, there's different denominations, okay? So my only suggestion on that issue is that, based on these differences that exist within denominations, I think that people should have a firm understanding of what it is they believe and why they believe it, and so the intention was not to save my soul. If these people were trying to save my soul, it seems as though they've done a lot of things to kill me off in the process, without any real logical discussion as to why I'm supposed to see the world the way that they do. What this issue is not about saving my soul. It's about social control. And in the process, I had a employment representative, or I would say employment. She deals with, I guess, mediation and resolving, employment issues. And she's supposed to be an experienced person. I remember meeting with this lady 2 times at least, as well as an accountant who sent me an email basically telling me that he was going to sue me, if I didn't stop contacting him. Now, let me tell you what I was contacting this man about, as well as this employment lady. The fact was that I was basically calling out to people that I have known to let them know what was going on with me. Now, if these people really had Christ in their heart, okay, they, instead of telling me to not contact them when I'm in a desperate situation, I'm in a state of destitution, somebody is literally hurting me and harassing me, and I'm contacting these people explaining my message, okay, and their response is they're going to sue me. Now, I want you to think what Jesus would do. Now, does this make any sense? Jesus healed people, and he did these sort of things, and these people are using these people weren't interested in me being a godly person or following Christ. These people were trying to cover their ass just by the response that I received from them. So she needs to realize, the employment lady as well as the CPA, these people need to realize that what they did was wrong. Okay, they violated my rights as an American citizen, regardless of what these people think. Okay, it is arrogant. They are a part of it, and you're not going to convince me otherwise. Okay, this is not about Christ at all. So I'm asking people to start questioning the actions of leaders, no matter what that leader is, because there has to be checks and balances, and people have to use discernment. They can't just be swept up by the emotions and the wonderful financial benefits of what a religious organization can provide. Okay, that's not the reason why people should serve God. Okay, I mean, Jesus had secular employment. Okay, he wasn't rolling in the dough. He had a very humble existence, and a lot of people want to serve God for the wrong reasons. Now, this is what I don't understand. We're talking about a being that is superior, okay? We're talking about a being that can read minds, hearts. He understands the actions of everything a person does, okay? So to join or affiliate myself with an organization just to gain material benefits, come Judgment Day, he's going to see right through that facade, okay? That's my point, okay? People need to understand the reasons for what they do and why they do it. So everything I do, I try to think about, does this make sense? And there's things that I have to look back on, and I try to correct my actions. In order to correct this action, in matters of religion, one should have a strong understanding of what they believe, okay? So if you're a parent, you're raising your kids to be Mormon, for example, then they need to understand the traditions of that. They need to understand the whys and the reasons why they do what they do, okay? Is it just a ritual that they do, or is it some meaning behind it? That's just an example, okay? So, you won't have a society that's confused. And like I said, in my situation, you have a bunch of people here from different denominations trying to literally hurt somebody. Now, from a biblical perspective, none of that makes any sense. That's another thing. Christians need to pick up the Bible, okay? And that's why it bothers me that people are acting on their own accord and they're not in alignment with the actual scriptures and instructions that they're supposed to be following. Otherwise, what's the basis of your religion? Think about it. Okay, so now on a secular level, people should consider the legal aspects of all the unusual occurrences that take place in the workplace. They need to know, hey, are they operating outside the law? That should be the first concern of anything that goes on in a business. That's why that person that you hire is getting the big bucks for basically processing paperwork that anybody can do. That's why you're paying them for that, for their knowledge on those issues. okay? And not, I don't expect people to be walking, law books, okay? But they should have like reference materials and stuff, or maybe have access to some people who have a good knowledge, like some sort of legal consultation, um, um, to talk to in certain tricky issues, and that's advisable. Now, in my situation, I'm questioning some of this because some of these things that I'm starting to think about, I'm questioning a lot of people in who claim to be professionals in employment law. I mean, this situation is crazy. This information about discriminating against your religion and your race and your marital status is on every poster. Now, whether you're a 4-year degreed professional or you're somebody who got into HR from the entry level and worked your way up the ladder, one way or the other, people are not following these instructions, and that's my point. So, like I said, from a Christian matter, from a matter of religion, like looking at it from that standpoint, I'm encouraging people to have a full understanding of whatever denomination that they belong in. I don't expect people to be reference books to their own faith, because sometimes there's tricky issues. Like some people might think, well, should we pay taxes? Those little things. And there's references, that they have to look up, And some people have what they call like a Bible type, I can't think of the name of it, index or something, a concordance, to where like they have certain issues and they can look it up and see if there's scriptural backing for what it is that they're going to do. That's how you fall and you live in accordance with your religion, whatever that religion may be. And if, like for example, if you're someone who studies, I don't know, something other than Christianity, then you need to know the basis of your religion. I mean, and you need to base your decisions in your life along those lines. Otherwise, why are you there? Okay? And if you're telling me that the reason why you're there is so that you can seek employment and receive these things, question what your heart is, okay? And then, like I said, there's also the secular aspect of it, whether you belong to a religion or you're not, or whatever. If you're in a position of hiring somebody or working with employment, that's the reason. So all these people who had high-paying jobs and continue to have high-paying jobs, which I'm shocked in this matter, it's just my mouth is just like amazed. I mean, I'm shocked. I'm very shocked. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up, and I do want people to think about the history of corruption when it relates to religion. And I've heard a lot of Christians even refer to the Crusades, and the harsh manner of Christians that they took to force people to their way of thinking. And a lot of Christians I've met refer back to that issue, and they're like, as if that's a lesson that Christians need to learn. People need to learn from this lesson too, this one right here, and that it's wrong, very wrong. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you have a wonderful 4th of July. My son's home, and I'm very happy to have everyone in my house. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. Take care. Bye-bye.